Hey everybody, how's your Saturday going? Welcome to DadPooL's Discussions. I am your host, the one and only DadPooL. So today brings us to day 14 of DadPooLoWeen. And can you maybe guess by the image on the screen what movie we'll be talking about today? Of course, none other than Leprechaun, starring Warwick Davis. Came out January 8th of 1993. Now, I remember seeing this in theaters when it first came out. And it was so refreshing to see another icon. Well, he's an icon now, but another horror monster, slasher, beast, whatever you want to call him, that talks, that is smart mouth, that communicates, is sarcastic. I mean, it's great. It's like they took a mix of Freddy and Chucky and put it inside this little tiny leprechaun. And Warwick Davis played the character perfect. Now, I know later on in the series it gets kind of goofy, like most franchises do when they're, 5 or 6 films deep. But I will say that even though there's campiness, a lot of dark humor, this character, the leprechaun, it doesn't get stale. I say that because there's a lot of memorable moments for this character throughout the entire series. Let's even throw out the horrible Origins movie that came out. I believe what was his name? The little tiny WWE wrestler, Hornswoggle. He played the leper. I mean, did it look? I mean, it didn't even look like a leprechaun. It kind of looked like a deformed little, like mini. I don't know, ogre. It wasn't a leprechaun. It kind of looked like the leprechaun at the end of the first one when he fell into the well at the end. Like his face was all deformed and melted. And then they brought it back to Leprechaun Returns, even though Warwick didn't play him, but it was a direct sequel to this movie. And then in between, you got Leprechaun 2, which I believe takes place in California. And then you get Leprechaun 3, which takes place in the casino. Caroline Williams makes an entry into the franchise, I think. And then Leprechaun 4 in space. Of course, everyone goes to space in horror. Surprised Michael hasn't gone to space. And then it gets us to Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Now, if you did not vibe with Leprechaun rapping in that movie, then I don't know. You could turn this off right now, because the Leprechaun song is outrageous. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put a link in the description to this video of that song. Go give it a listen, check it out. But we're here for Leprechaun, the original. Like I said, came out in 1993, directed by Mark Jones, written by Mark Jones, produced by Jeffrey Melian, starring Warwick Davis, Ken Oland, Mark Holton. If you don't know, he's Chubby from Teen Wolf. Robert Gorman, and of course, the iconic Warwick Davis, who is just a masterful actor. He pulls off the characters that he's asked to do quite well. Willow, Ewoks, and now legendary Leprechaun. So again, I said this movie came out in January 8th of 1993. It's about 92 minutes long. Had a budget of about $1 million. total take-in was about 9. So it made its money back. It was quite successful. I remember it being very busy on opening night at the theater. Kind of had that Avengers Endgame vibe. I ain't gonna lie, it was a packed theater. Um, and I was 17 at the time, and it was very big with kids my age. Um, so yeah, let's dive into the plot of Leprechaun. So starts off in 1983, where Dan O'Grady returns home to his North Dakota residence from a trip to native Ireland, where he stole a pot of gold from a leprechaun who he interrogated. After burying the gold, O'Grady discovers that the evil leprechaun has followed him home and murders his wife. O'Grady uses a 4-leaf clover to suppress the leprechaun's powers and trap himself inside a crate. Before he can burn him, Mr. O'Grady suffers a stroke. So then it flashes to 10 years later. J.D. Redding, who has played Zach Morris's father on Saved by the Bell. You might remember him from there. He's played in a lot of other B-rated movies as well, and some TV shows, but most notably Saved by the Bell. And then we see his teenage daughter Tori as they're renting the O'Grady farmhouse for the summer. There they meet contract workers Nathan Murphy, his 10-year-old brother Alex, and their dim-witted friend Ozzie Jones, who are there to help repaint the farmhouse. While looking around the basement, Ozzie hears the leprechaun's masked cry for help and mistakes him for a little child. He brushes the 4-leaf clover off the crate, freeing the leprechaun. Ozzie spots a rainbow. But before that, Ozzie runs up to the basement and is crying. He's screaming about a leprechaun in the basement. He's screaming he just saw one. No one's believing him. They think he's just, the numbskull, the village idiot that he is portraying. That no one's gonna believe him. So then there's a rainbow that appears in the sky, and they believe that at the end of the rainbow is where you find the pot of gold. So Ozzie and Alex go and try to find the end of the rainbow. They successfully do, and they find it at the end of it is an old rusty truck. They find the gold coins. So they're like, how do we know if it's real? And Ozzie's like, I seen this on TV. Like, you bite into it to test it. And he goes to bite a coin, and he accidentally swallows it, which will come back later on in the film. So at the farm, the leprechaun lures Tori's father into a trap by imitating a cat sound, biting and injuring his hand. So Tori and the others have to rush to the hospital, and then you see the leprechaun follow out of the garage on a tricycle. Hilarious. And then as they're at the hospital, Ozzie and Alex visit a pawn shop to go and check and see if the gold is pure and if it's real gold. So they leave the coin with the guy, and then the leprechaun arrives, kills the shop owner for stealing, thinking he stole the gold. And as he's pogo sticking on the guy, he's like singing a song and being sarcastic like he does for every kill, very similar to Freddy. But then he shines the dead shop guy's shoes, because leprechauns have a thing for shoe repair and cleaning shoes and making shoes and whatnot. So then the leprechaun finds himself a little go-kart to head out and to be able to go and catch up and get the rest of his gold. So as he's driving the go-kart, he's pulled over by a police officer. Subsequently, the police officer is chased by the leprechaun, and then is killed in the process. So the leprechaun returns to the farmhouse where he searches for his gold and shines every shoe that he finds. He's in the kitchen and he's ripping through the cabinets, and he comes upon a box of Lucky Clover cereal, which is supposed to imitate Lucky Charms, and he eats it and he spits it out and doesn't like it. It's disgusting. So after the group leaves JD at the hospital, they drive back to the farmhouse, finding it ransacked because the leprechaun was looking for his gold. Nathan checks outside where he's running and conveniently trips and falls into a bear trap that was set up by the leprechaun. The group fights the leprechaun outside, ganging up and beating him up with sticks and stones and whatever else they can muster up to battle the leprechaun. After finding a shotgun in the farmhouse, they shoot the leprechaun several times. When this has no effect, they attempt to flee, but their truck engine has been sabotaged by the leprechaun. So then the leprechaun weirdly rams the truck with his little tiny go-kart. The truck flips over. Just would never happen in real life, but it's a movie. Gotta take it for what it's worth. The leprechaun is terrorizing the group, and then Ozzy finally reveals that he and Alex found the pot of gold. Tori recovers the bag from the well, gives it to the leprechaun, thinking that, hey, this is going to end everything. He's got his gold back. So the leprechaun's counting his gold. 1, 2, 3, he's getting to it. 99. And he's missing a gold coin. The last coin was obviously inside Ozzy's stomach because he swallowed it in the beginning of the film. They then, sorry, my dog's barking. Apologize. My dog was barking at someone walking by. So thinking that they have tricked him, he menaces them until Ozzy tells him about O'Grady, who was taken to a nursing home after a stroke. The group distracts the leprechaun by throwing dirty shoes around, which the leprechaun can't resist, but they go and shine them while Tori gets into her Jeep and drives off, which is kind of funny because if they were trying to take off in the truck and the truck wouldn't start, why didn't they just jump in the Jeep to begin with to take off? It's, again, the movie just doesn't really explain things. I mean, I would. So it's kind of a plot hole within the story. So she goes to the nursing home, goes to find O'Grady. When she gets to the room, it's the leprechaun in disguise as O'Grady. She's running away from the leprechaun. The leprechaun's chasing in a wheelchair, as seen here. She gets into the elevator. O'Grady falls from inside the ceiling of the elevator and says that you need to get a 4-leaf clover. It's the only way you can kill a leprechaun, which happens to grow on his farm outside near the well. Just look for it. You'll see the big patch. So Tori returns to the farmhouse where she searches for a clover, and then she's attacked by the leprechaun, who surprisingly makes it there, the same time. Nathan and Ozzy save her. Ozzy reveals that he swallowed the last gold coin, and the leprechaun critically wounds him trying to get it. He's like slashing his face with his belt buckle, trying to get him to get into his stomach and get that last gold coin. But before the leprechaun can kill Ozzy, Alex takes the 4-leaf clover, wads it up with a piece of his gum in his mouth, takes out his slingshot, and he says, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms." Boom. Shoots it into his mouth, causing him to melt away. Leprechaun falls into the well, but then a skeleton climbs out to continue menacing the group, and Nathan pushes the leprechaun back into the well and blows it up with some gasoline. As the cops arrive in the morning and investigate the remains of the wild, the leprechaun vows he will not rest until he recovers every last piece of his gold. And the movie ends. And, seeing that as a kid and then watching Leprechaun 2, you're thinking that this movie is going to pick up right where Leprechaun 1 left off. Not the case. Because it's like because in the movie, when he gets pulled over, the leprechaun tells the cop that he's like 600 years old, and in this movie, second one, he's 1,000 years old. So there's no continuity there, and then it's 1,000 years later, we go to LA, and he's still trying to find his bride. So the continuity was really out of whack with these films. Again, I don't hate it, but they did bring it back around for Leprechaun Returns, in which Ozzy makes his return to the franchise. Jennifer Aniston is mentioned because her daughter is the main character of the film. So definitely check it out. I really do hope that there's. I don't want them to remake it, but I want a continuation of the story. I would love to see. I would love to see another Leprechaun in the Hood movie. Make it a trilogy. You did Leprechaun in the Hood in 2000. You did Leprechaun Back to the Hood in 2003. And then the series was kind of stagnant until 2014. And then they had the Leprechaun Returns, which came out on December 11th on Sci-Fi. Or I was released on DVD. It was played on Sci-Fi during that year. I believe it was April. I think it was St. Patrick's Day when it came out, if I remember correctly. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Leprechaun? Is this something that's frightened you? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this franchise and the character. Would you like to see another one, or do you think they should just end it and move on? Sound off in the comments below. And also, while you're watching this, if you could please, I'm asking very politely, if you could just please hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, like the video, hit that notification bell, and share it out with 4 or 5 different people. Share it, tweet it, share it out to all your friends that love horror movies, that are into this kind of stuff. And then again, that's majorly important to hit the notification bell to all, because you'll get notified when new videos will be coming out, just like my new series that will be debuting in a few weeks. It's called DadPooL's Discussions, Horror Then and Now, where I compare and contrast horror movie franchises, the original to the remake or reboot. I have the first episode. You're just fine tuning that right now. So make sure if your alerts are on, you'll know when that gets debuted. I'm looking at about 1 to 2 weeks before the first episode comes out for that, and then it'll be a weekly episode as well. And then we have in December, we have 25 Days of Christmas Horror, where each day in December I'll be reviewing a holiday slasher / dark Christmas movie, dark theme movie, just like I am for DadPooLoWeen. So if that's something you're interested in, something you love, again, if you could please hit the follow or subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, how's your October going? I can't believe we're just about almost halfway there. With this month and the spooky season. So yeah, what are you enjoying? What are you watching right now? Are you following along? Are you watching each day that I put the videos out? Are you watching that particular movie? And if so, are you enjoying it? What are your highs and lows of the movie so far? Again, I appreciate all the comments that I've been getting, and I make sure that in a timely manner, interact and respond and try to keep that conversation going. So, again, I appreciate everyone who takes the time out to watch and leave feedback on these reviews. So I think that'll bring me to the end of this video. But before I go, just want to say a couple things. Just if you can, watch yourself a movie. Either head to the theater or turn on a streaming service. There's plenty of free services out there like Pluto and Freevee, Tubi. A lot of content on there. Go watch something. And then also hug your loved ones. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Love you.